Hey everyone, I'm Keisha Charmaine and I'm back, and in this video I'll be showing you all the clipless ponytail retwist method. I touched upon it briefly in my last video, however I did not show an in-depth demonstration, so that's what this video is for. This method is ideal for people who don't want to use clips for their retwists, or if they don't want to use the regular clipless method where you just make a swirl at the root, because some people feel like that's not good for your root. Some people feel like that will thin out your locks. Some people feel like they don't like how it looks when it's dried. You know, it's curled at the root, takes away some of your length just a little bit. But for those of you who want a nice, clean, smooth retwist, this method is a go-to versus the regular clipless method. First, I suggest sectioning off your hair. Depending on how many ponytails you want to make, that's all up to you. You can make one ponytail even, but you can make 2, 3, 4. It's up to you. I decided to make 9 sections because I wanted to do a braid out, and I like my braid outs best when I have 9 braids, so I made 9 sections. In this video, I'll be showing you my last 2 sections at the front of my head. So the easiest way to achieve this retwist is to start off by doing the regular clipless method. The key is to not ponytail the section until you take out the little swirl at the root. Now you would do that by untwisting it a little bit to relieve some of the tension, and what that does is stretch it out. And once you have all of the locks gathered and stretched out, now you're safe to ponytail them in place. The ponytail is going to keep your retwist in place. And that's the key. You want to have your hair dry while it's in the ponytail so that your roots dry in place, and you'll have a nice fresh retwist with no curly roots. So this first section, I show you all in real time how my retwist goes. I'm using a little bit of gel, the same gel that I used in my last video. Check that out if you haven't seen it already, my last lock maintenance video. And a little goes a long way. I use it to make sure that I have all my loose hairs together, and I palm roll the more immature part of my lock. So whenever I palm roll, I don't palm roll the entire length of the lock because my locks are very mature. I don't deal with frizz towards the ends of my hair at all. Any frizz that I experience is towards the root, where my locks are a couple years old to, several months old. So that's the part that I focus on when I'm retwisting, and I palm roll it. And I make my little swirl at the root by basically just twisting it onto itself lightly. I don't do it very heavily. Maybe that's why some people experience thinning with this method. Maybe they do it too tightly and it causes breakage in your hair. I definitely don't recommend doing anything too tightly to your locks. Also, I highly recommend that you do retwists on freshly washed hair, or at least freshly misted hair, so your hair is damp. It doesn't need to be soaking wet. Actually, it's better if it's not soaking wet because then it can dry better without getting mildew. So make sure you're working on damp locks. Make sure you're retwisting not too tightly when you make your little swirl, so that it's easier for you to pull into the ponytail when it's time. Sometimes all it really takes to undo the swirl at the root is to give the locks a tug, but if you did it really tightly, then you may need to unravel your retwist a little bit. But you have to see how your hair is, see what works best for you, see if you need to tug it or if you need to unravel it. Because I don't do tightly, I can just tug it, but when I did find individual locks that were twisted a bit too tightly, then I had to unravel it. But yeah, I'm using little black rubber bands at the roots because my sections are so small. And I'm making a braid out, so I'm just showing you guys a little bit of the braiding process. So here's the sped up version on my last section. Basically, I'm doing the same exact thing that I did prior. I'm making sure that my parts are together. I'm gathering loose hairs, using minimal gel at the root, and palm rolling the more immature parts of my locks. And once I'm done, I gather my locks all together and gently untwist or pull out the swirl so that I can ponytail it to braid it and let it dry. Simple as that. Currently, I still have my hair in the braids. I am taking time under the dryer. I have a blow dryer with a hood attachment, and every now and then I'm going under it for maybe 20 minutes at a time to dry it. And yeah, that's it. I'll be taking out my braids tomorrow. So make sure you follow me on Instagram at Keisha Charmaine to see my latest braid out. Make sure you leave me a comment below and let me know your thoughts on this retwist method. Have you ever tried it? Will you try it? How do you feel about the clipless method in general? Does it thin out your hair? Let me know your experience. And I've never had any issues with thinning, so I'm really curious if any of you have. But yeah, the ponytail method is a really great way to avoid the twisties, the curls at the roots. So hope you found this video helpful. Thanks for watching. Love, light, and locks.